So good afternoon, everyone. In the last laboratory session, we have discussed some basic problems of projection of plane. In this lab also, we are going to consider several problems on the projection of plane. And overall, this is the last laboratory session for engineering drawing. And officially, we are going to conclude the syllabus of the subject, right? By considering several examples of projection of plane for better understanding of the concept of the same. So let us consider one of the data for the projection of plane. We have a data for the problem is like this: a rectangular pentagon. This is very important to understand. We are taking a plane of pentagon, and the side of the pentagon is 30 mm. A rectangular pentagon of 30 mm side is resting on HP. So here what will happen, you are very much aware about to draw a pentagon, right? You already studied the same thing in the uh, first sheet, introduction sheet, practice sheet, right? You are aware about how to draw the pentagon. Pentagon means it is having 5 sides. Each side is having how much angle? It is having 30 mm of the angle. So how this is the pentagon, how it is going to look like, right? It is going to look like this. So the side of this pentagon is 30 mm. So this data is given to you over here. Now one of its side with its surface 45 inclined to HP. See, one information is given to you. Which information is given to you? First information is this pentagon is resting on, or we can say one side of the pentagon is resting on this HP, horizontal plane, right? And one of its side, let us say for example this side. So this side is making an angle of 45 degree with respect to horizontal plane. So here what happened? One side of the pentagon is inclined to HP by 45 degree. This is the first information given to you. Second information is draw its projection when the side in HP. So which line you are talking about? The side which is in HP makes an 30 degree angle with respect to vertical plane. So this three condition is given to you for the plane pentagon for drawing it according to this. Surface and side inclinations are directly given. So you can consider these two information. So first of all, we will learn how to analyze all this data, and based on the analysis of the data given to you, what we can conclude, right? So do you read the problem and please answer the following question. First question is surface inclined to which plane? Horizontal plane. Yes, surface is inclined to horizontal plane. Now, what is the assumption for initial position? It is parallel to HP. So you can see the true shape of the pentagon in which plane you will get the true shape in the top view below XY line. Below XY line you will get your top view, and above XY line you will get your front view. Which side will be vertical whenever you are going to draw the pentagon? Any side. You can draw any side vertical, right? And that vertical side you should keep on horizontal plane, and then you get the inclination with respect to the horizontal plane. So begin with the top view, draw one pentagon below XY line and consider any one side as a vertical side. This is the first conclusion we have kept before we wanted to go for the solution of this particular problem. So now what we are going to do is we will draw one pentagon in which we will able to see the top view in true shape, and the top view true shape which is below XY line. So this is my XY line, horizontal line. Below this XY line, I have created one pentagon where the side of the pentagon is equal to 30 mm. 30 mm is the side of this particular pentagon. So I have drawn one pentagon like this. Below XY line is my top view. So this true shape of the pentagon is nothing but it is my top view of the problem. Above XY line or on the XY line, I will draw my front view, right? So first of all, I have completed this pentagon. All of you are aware about how to draw the pentagon, right? So we will not go further in this. So after drawing the pentagon, you can give the nomenclature to this pentagon, like this point is A point, B, C, D, and E. So A, B, C, D, E indicates the pentagon, and I have kept this AB line as a vertical line. Taking the projection on XY line like this. And let us refer this thing because 30 mm side is resting on HP. So this pentagon is on HP. It is on the horizontal plane. So in the front view, you just see one line which is on the XY line. Right? You will only able to see one horizontal line on XY line, which indicates the front view, point A, extension of point A on the front view is denoted by A dash. Same point is B dash, C dash, C dash, and here is the last point which is D dash. So initially, one pentagon is resting on horizontal plane. You can indicate its top view and front view like this. This is the top view. You will see the pentagon, and if you keep the pentagon one plane which is from front, if you wanted to see, it will be look like a line like this. So this is the first position, initial position as per the data is given to you. So first I wanted to know that if this thing, if this two part of the drawing, two view, front view and top view, if it is clear to you or not. Please you do raise your hand up to this if it is clear to you. I want the response from each and every participants from the lecture. Very good. So the first initial two views are clear to everyone. First is the top view, which is below XY line, and front view is on XY line as the pentagon is resting on horizontal plane, right? Now let us go for the next part. What it is given. Next part is one of its side with its surface inclined to HP. So now you are making some inclination of this particular plane, which you are looking at over here. See this. Right now, this is resting on HP. If I wanted to make an angle of this particular plane with respect to HP, at some angle, it will be like this. Right now, it is on HP. If you can make an angle, it will be look like this. So this is the plane which you are making it for 45 degree with respect to the horizontal plane. So consider this line A dash D dash and draw it over here with the same distance which is you can able to see in the front view. So mark A dash D dash in your compass, keep any point on this XY line and mark an arc over here to get the value of A dash D dash like this. Also mark this A dash C dash point and please consider it over here somewhere according to the dimensions. This is my point C dash, E dash, this is my point D dash, and this is my initial point A dash, B dash. So what we have done here, we have make the inclination of this particular plane with respect to horizontal plane, and so that its front view will be like this inclined line. This inclined line is having the same dimensions as it is looking in the previous view, right? This line is having the same dimensions of this line. Now what we are going to do is we will take the projection of this line in the top view. So what will happen? We'll take the projection downward direction from point A dash B dash, from point C dash E dash, and from point D dash. Similarly, we will take the projection of point A, B, C, D, E from left to right like this. And we will mark the intersecting point whenever my point A dash will meet the line horizontally and vertically from A dash and from horizontally from A. So I will mark this point as point A1. Similarly, I will do the same thing from point B. So I'll draw one horizontal line and one vertical line from point B and B dash like this. Whenever it is going to meet, I will mark that intersecting point like this. Same procedure from point C like this. From point E and from point D. From D dash, it is a vertical line, and from point D, draw a horizontal line. Mark all the intersecting points and complete the drawing like this. And we will give the nomenclature of these particular points like A1, B1, C1, D1, and E1. So what we have done up to this particular point, first, in the first step, we kept our pentagon on the horizontal plane. Then we have make an inclination with respect to horizontal plane by 45 degree. Now, draw its projection. Now I'm focusing on this line, last line, this line. Draw its projection when the side in HP. So which side is in HP now? This side in HP, AB. You can see this. AB line is in the HP. So which line is in HP? AB line makes 30 degree angle with respect to VP. So whenever any plane is making an angle with respect to HP, we will draw it above XY line. Whenever it is making an angle with respect to VP, we will draw below XY line. So now we have to draw AB line or A1 B1 line making 30 degree angle with respect to VP or with respect to XY line like this. You can see this angle is 30 degree, and on this particular line we will draw A1 B1 point. So how you are going to draw it? You have to first draw. See this. I'm repeating this thing again for your better understanding. First of all, draw one line which is at 30 degree. Now take any point somewhere over here and mark this distance. Right? I'm talking about which distance? I'm talking about this distance. Mark this distance and take any point A, and that distance can be done over here. Now mark this distance and at this particular angle and draw it over here from this particular point like this. Similarly, B1, C1 at the same angle, draw like this. In short, what you need to do is you have to replicate this pentagon which is given over here in this particular point in such a way that it is making 30-degree angle like this. So let me do it over here for you and give them the nomenclature like A1, B1, C1, D1 and E1. So now it is what? This side which is on HP is making 30-degree angle with respect to vertical plane. Now what you need to do is you have to take the projection from top view to front view, upper side like this. From point E1, from point D1, from point C1, from point B1 and from point A1 like this. And take the projection from left to right and join the different points like this A point will meet somewhere over here from both the side. B, it is coming like this. C point from lower end, it is coming like this up to this. D from point D1 on the upper side and from point D dash in the right hand side like this. Mark all the intersecting point and join it with the help of a line which will give you A1 dash, B1 dash, C1 dash, D1 dash and E1 dash like this. So this is how you can draw the projection of plane when it is given the condition of surface and side inclination, which information is given in the data itself. So you do please raise your hand up to this if it is clear to you, everyone. I want the response from each and every participants, those who are present over here. And in case of any query, you please feel free to ask your query in the chat box. It seems clear to everyone. Very good. So now take out the sketchbook, pencil, scale, and all the drawing instrument. Write down this data and try to draw this problem in your sketchbook for 10 minutes. Do complete this problem. And in case of any query, please feel free to ask in the chat box. Start drawing it in your sketchbook and let me know once you are done with the problem.
Fine, so I hope you have completed the drawing now. Let us continue with the next problem. So in the previous problem, you were having the size of the pentagon and the surface inclination and the side or edge inclination. The data you were having, one was regarding the size of the pentagon, one was the surface inclination, another one was the side or edge inclination. Based on these three data, you have completed this problem number 4. Here, the surface inclination was given with reference to HP. That's why we have assumed our initial position, or you can say the true shape of the plane in the top view, because we have assumed our plane parallel to HP. Why? Because surface inclination is given with the HP. So whenever we are having surface inclination given with the HP, we are assuming the plane parallel to HP. And if the plane is parallel to HP, its top view gives us the true shape. It means pentagonal shape we can observe in the top view. So we need to start our numerical, our drawing from the top view only. So in the top view, we are creating the regular hexagonal plane. Then we are creating the front view. After that, whatever surface inclination is given, at that surface inclination, we are copying and paste the front view. The length of the front view we are keeping as it is, but at certain inclination, with the given inclination of 45 degree. So here what we have done, we have created one line at 45 degree angle, then we have measured this length. We have measured this length and we have shifted that length at 45 degree angle. These two lengths are similar to each other. It means we have simply copied and pasted the front view, but at the given angle, at the 45 degree angle. Clear? So here we are just inclining the front view by keeping the points A and B on the XY line. Then after, we have measured the distance between A to C, the same distance. We need to mark it over here and we need to find out the location of C and E. After that, we need to take the vertical projection from each and every point in the downward direction and horizontal projection from each and every point of previous front view or previous top view. Right now we are having the front view. So that's why we have taken the vertical downward projection and horizontal projection from previous top view to find out the new top view over here. So here we need to find out the adjacent points, like a vertical projection coming from the A dash and A. Wherever they two are intersecting each other, this will be our point A. Similarly, a vertical projection from the B dash and B. Wherever they two are intersecting with each other, it will be the new position for the point B. Similarly, C, D, and E. After that, the side or edge inclination is given at 30 degree. So we need to draw one line at 30 degree angle. Then after, again here also, we need to do the same thing. What we have done over here is just copied and pasted the front view at certain angle. The same thing we need to do over here, that we need to copy and paste this view, this top view, but at certain given inclination. Right now, the given inclination is 30 degree with the VP. So what we need to do is, first we need to locate any point, any random point A. Then we need to measure this length A to B. The same we need to mark on this 30 degree angle. After that, what we need to do? once we find the A and B, we need to find out the remaining points. So in that case, to find out the location of the remaining points, you can utilize your compass. How? That you need to measure this distance, say for example, A to E, with help of your compass. By keeping its tip over here and pencil over here, you can take this much distance on your compass. Then by keeping point A as a center, you should mark the arc somewhere here, which is the radius equals to AE and center is A. Similarly, you need to measure this distance between A to C, and you need to set your compass radius like B1, E1 will be your radius. And now, after that, by keeping point B as a center and BE as a radius, you should mark the arc over here. So you will find the location of point E, and then you need to join it with the A. Similarly, the same thing you need to follow for the distance between A to D and B to D. By taking these two distances and keeping A as a center, B as a center, you should mark the arc somewhere here. Similarly, by taking the distance A to C and B to C on your compass, you should mark the arc somewhere here and here, and you are having the location. Then after, you need to join all of these points here to regenerate the view. This is for the copying and pasting this top view over here. Clear? So at 30-degree angle, we have regenerated the top view. After regenerating the top view, we need to take the vertical projection in the upper direction and the horizontal projection from the previous front view, and to find out the new location of the points. Like a projection from A and A dash will give you the new location of A dash. Similarly, B and B dash projections, wherever they two are intersecting with each other, it will give you the new location of point B, and so on up to point E, and you can find the final front view. Clear? This was the practice we have completed, but here we were having three data given to us. Clear? Pentagonal side length, 45-degree inclination with the HP, surface inclination was given straight away. In our next problem, we are having the similar kind of situation like a pentagonal plane, 30 mm side length, but instead of providing the surface inclination, they have given us some condition. Instead of providing the surface inclination, they have provided us the condition. So by utilizing that condition, we need to complete the problem. Again, at last, side inclination is given with the VP, 30-degree incline to the VP. So it's fine. Side inclination we are having when the side which is in HP is 30-degree incline to VP. It means we were same as the previous problem. We are having side inclination, we are having the side length of the hexagonal plane. But the thing is, instead of providing the surface inclination, they have provided us a condition like the pentagonal plane is resting on HP on one of its side, while its opposite corner is 30 mm above HP. So the plane which is resting on one of its side, that side's opposite corner we need to consider, and that point is 30 mm above HP. So let us look at the previous drawing. See here, the resting side is side AB. It is our resting side. And its opposite corner, it means corner D. So the resting side's opposite corner is D. So here, in our second step, we are utilizing this surface inclination, which is not given in the problem number 5. So here what they have given is, they have given a condition that corner D, this point D, is 30 mm above HP. That means this distance is given to us. Instead of giving this angle, they have given us this much distance. The location of point D is given. Clear? So by utilizing that condition, we need to finalize this surface inclination. Clear? So let us complete the next numerical. Here, same as the previous problem, we need to draw the XY line. We need to draw a regular pentagon by keeping one of its side on the leftmost side. See, here we can create a pentagon with some other orientation also. We can also create a pentagon like this also. By keeping a corner on the leftmost side and a edge on the rightmost side. This kind of orientation can also be there, but the thing is, we need to keep the entity on which the plane is resting on the leftmost side. Here it is given that a pentagonal plane is resting on one of its side. That's why we have kept this side on the leftmost side. Clear? And by keeping this side on the leftmost side, we have oriented our true shape. Then take the vertical projection in the upward direction and complete the front view. Now they have not given us the surface inclination. So for that, what we need to do is we need to draw one parallel line with the XY line by keeping this much distance of 30 mm. So by keeping 30 mm distance, we need to draw one parallel line. After that, what we need to do is, after that, we need to measure this much distance with help of our compass and set this much radius on our compass. Then here on this 30 mm offset line, select any point, and by keeping that point as a center and this much radius, A dash to D dash, this much as a radius, mark the arc on the XY line. So here now you are having the point A dash, here now you are having the point D dash, and join them. So this will be your front view, even if we don't have this surface inclination. Clear? By using this condition of 30 mm offset for the D dash point, we can complete the front view. Clear? So that's what we need to do in the second step. After that, same as the previous drawing, you need to take the vertical projection in the downward direction, horizontal projection from the previous top view, find out the adjacent point, that projection coming from the A dash and A will give you the new location of the point A. Similarly, B dash and B, then C dash and C, D dash and D, similarly E and E dash. So this is our new top view. Then after, it is given that when the side which is in HP, it means they are talking about the side AB, because side AB is in HP, and that's why we have kept its front view on the XY line. Clear? The side AB is in HP. It means its distance from the HP in the front view is 0. That's why we have kept this A dash and B dash exactly on the XY line, because they are in HP. So now we need to rotate this top view at 30-degree inclination, and we need to regenerate this top view over here. After that, the same process, take the vertical projection in the upward direction, horizontal projection from the previous front view, find out the adjacent points and join them. This will be your final front view. Here. So now you need to complete this drawing in your sketchbook. Before going for the drawing, let me clear you some of the homework tasks. See, right now I am showing you the Google Classroom for the A batch. This is for the A batch. The same thing will be there for the B and C batch. See here, for the A batch students, you need to submit two different tutorials. One is the introduction and scale. Another one is projection of line and plane. The remaining tutorials, remaining 3 tutorials for the curve, engineering curve, orthographic and isometric. The remaining 3 tutorials you need to submit to the Saurabh sir, who is conducting your ED lab for the first time during a week. We are meeting in the second time, it means on Friday. Yeah. So here in the second session, you need to complete these 2, projection of line and plane and the introduction and scale. So you need to submit me these 2 tutorials. As a work of this projection of line and plane, you can select any 3 problems of line, any 3 problems of plane. Whether they are from your tutorial book or whether the problem which we are discussing right now or whether the problem was discussed during your lecture time. Any of the 3 problems you can select as per your choice. But the thing is total, you need to draw 3 problems of line and 3 problems of plane. Clear? And then you need to scan it and you need to submit it. For the introduction and scale, you are having the clear instruction given in the tutorial book that what you need to do in the introduction part. You just refer this tutorial book given in the Google Classroom, and the scale problems are also given in this tutorial book. So draw it, complete the task and upload it, because your final mark sheet, your final marks will be based on the internal marks. That means your mid-semester examination marking as well as your term work and viva. So all of you must have to complete this task. Otherwise, you might going to fail the subject. Here, because your final marks of this subject will not be based on your end semester examination, that is fine. But the thing is, you need to complete the term work and you need to appear into the mid-semester examination. Then only you will get the internal marks. And based on that, your final mark sheet will be prepared. Clear? So the thing is, you need to complete the term work in each and every subject. Clear? As well as you need to appear into the viva also. So complete this task, which is given to you in the Google Classroom, submit it by the next week. Submit it by the next week. Clear? Fine. Now, yes, this instruction is all for all 3 batches. This instruction is for all 3 batches. 3 problem, it's fine. I will inform the Mashru sir and the Prashant sir also for the B and C batches also. Fine. Now all of you just type your full enrollment number into the chat box for the attendance and continue with your drawing. Once you complete the drawing, well, continue for the next problem. I will give you the time up to 2:35. Right now it is 2:16. 2:17. You need to complete the problem by 2:35. We'll continue our discussion for the next drawing from 2:35 onwards. So complete this drawing. See, right now, with help of the scale and with the dimension, with help of the angle protector, and you just complete this drawing on the blank paper, and you can take the photograph or you can scan it and you can submit it as the term work also. It's fine, not an issue. But the thing is, you need to complete the term work. So right now I am giving you enough time to complete the problem. So during our lab time only, you can complete your term work. Clear? So draw this problem, scan it and consider it as your term work. It's fine. No, it's fine, Urvisha. You can select the problem from the lab manual. It is the most priority, or in the lab manual, whichever problems are given, they are having different varieties. So if you are selecting the problems from the lab manual, then it's good. But even if you want this problem to submit, then also it is fine. Fine. So I hope you have completed the drawing. Let us discuss one more type of problem in which we are considering the plane to be freely suspended from one of its side or edge or corner. So here we are assuming that we have attached one string with the plane, and with help of that string we are freely suspending our plane, and then after we are giving it a certain inclination. So in this problem we are having a isosceles triangle, and the dimensions of this isosceles triangle are given like 40 mm, base length is given, 60 mm, altitude length is given. So with help of these dimension, first we can draw the isosceles triangle. So here what we need to do is we need to draw one baseline of 40 mm, find out the midpoint, draw the altitude at 60 mm, mark the point and join it with the end point of the base, and you can complete the isosceles triangle. 60 mm altitude and 40 mm base. Clear? Now, what is given in the data further is this isosceles triangle plane is freely suspended from one corner of base side. So here we are having base side as a AB. So either A or B. Along with that corner, we are attaching one string, and with help of that string, we are suspending this plane, and we need to find out that position, that after suspending this plane with help of this string, how it will be oriented. That we need to find it out. And after that, one more condition is given, like the plane is having 45-degree inclination with the VP. So with help of this given condition, we need to draw the projection. Now, whenever we freely suspend any object with help of this string, at that time, what happens that the contact point from where we are suspending our object and the centroid of the plane, these 2 points remains in the vertical direction. Clear? So for that, first we need to find out the centroid. Now, right now we are talking about the isosceles triangle, whether it is a regular triangle or a rectangular plane or a square plane or a pentagonal plane, any of this shape of the plane are there. Every time this condition remains same, that contact point from where we are suspending our plane and the line which is joining that contact point to the centroid of the plane, this connection remains in the vertical direction due to the gravitational force. Whenever we are freely suspending any object, we need to remember this condition, like a centroid and the contact point, the connection in between these two remains vertical due to the gravitational force. Yeah. Now, this is 60 mm, which is given in the data height. Then after, we need to find out the centroid of this isosceles triangle. So the location of the centroid for the isosceles triangle is on its altitude at h by 3 distance if the total height is h. So right now the total height is given as 60 mm. So from here, from the midpoint of this AB, we need to measure the distance of 20 mm and we can locate the centroid. So G is the centroid for this isosceles triangle. We need to join this point G with the A, and this AG will remain vertical if we suspend our isosceles triangle with help of the string attached at the corner A. Clear? So for that, what we need to do is, first we need to draw one XY line, then draw any random horizontal line. From that, we are going to suspend our isosceles triangle. Then By selecting any random point on this horizontal line, we need to draw a perfectly vertical line. On this vertical line, our AG is going to set. So for that, what we need to do is, first we need to take our compass, measure this distance A to G by keeping a tip over here and pencil point over here. We can set this much radius AG over here, and then after the same distance we need to mark on our vertical line. Clear? So first I have marked the point A dash, then AG length I need to mark. Now once I am having the line AG, then after, with reference to this A and G point, I need to find out the location of remaining points. And for that, what we can do is same as our previous drawing. Here also, what we need to do is, first we need to measure this distance between A to B, and by keeping point A as a center, we need to mark the arc somewhere here. Then after, measure the distance between B to G, this much distance on our compass, and by keeping point G as a center, we should mark the arc over here. So the intersection point will give us the location for the point B, and you can join it with the point A dash. Yeah. Similarly, the same thing we can do for the point C also, that measure the distance between A to C, and by keeping A dash over here as a center, we should mark the arc radius as AC, the radius which we have measured from this first true shape. Clear? Then after, measure this distance between G to C on your compass, and by keeping G dash as a center, mark the arc over here, G to C, this much distance, mark the arc. Wherever they two are intersecting, it is our point C. Now join it with the point A, join it with the point B. Clear? So this is how we can regenerate the true shape over there, but at certain given inclination. And right now in our case, the inclination is AG must remain perfectly vertical. So this is the regeneration of the true shape over there, but by keeping AG in a vertical condition. Then after, the remaining process is same as our previous drawing, that we need to take the vertical projections in the downward direction from all the points, and we can draw the top view initially by keeping or by assuming the plane parallel to VP. If the plane is parallel to VP, its top view will be perfectly horizontal, or you can say parallel to the XY line. Now, after that, it is given that we need to incline this plane at 45 degree with the VP. So here we need to draw one line at 45 degree inclination, and on that line we need to regenerate these points over here. So this is nothing but just copy and paste, but at the given inclination, same as our previous numericals, we are doing the same thing, that copy and paste of this top view, but at the given inclination. After that, we need to take the vertical projection from each and every point in the upward direction, and the horizontal projection from previous front view. Find out the adjacent point, like projection which is coming from the A and A dash will give us the new location for the point A dash. Similarly, B and B dash, C and C dash, G and G dash will give us the new location for the point. Join them with each other, A to B, B to C, C to A. Here, so this will be the final front view. And in this case, we have freely suspended the object by attaching one string at the corner A. Clear? In that case, the point and the line joining it to the centroid must remain in a vertical condition. Clear? So this is the answer for this problem. Note down the data and the drawing with dimension in your sketchbook. After completing the problem and giving the attendance into the chat box, you can leave the session. If you have any doubt, just type it into the chat box. Meanwhile, complete the drawing.
So all the students, please you do write your full name and your enrollment number in the chat box if it is still remaining.